President of the United States is going to go up to Capitol Hill later today. He's going to talk to House Republicans tomorrow. He's going to talk to Senate Republicans. But what's interesting...
He's doing a lot of talking. Isn't that a relief?
It's the charm offensive, Brian. He's trying to be charming. Although, as you're about to discover from us, it's just a tactic. And nonetheless, he was talking a little bit about his budget, which will not be balanced. It's going to come out 2 months after the deadline. He told the partisan, George Stephanopoulos, who used to work in the Clinton White House, this about balancing the budget.
My goal is not to chase a balanced budget just for the sake of balance. My goal is how do we grow the economy, put people back to work, and if we do that, we're going to be bringing in more revenue. If we've controlled spending, and we've got a smart entitlement package, then potentially what you have is balance, but it's not balance on the backs of, the poor, the elderly, students who need student loans, families who've got disabled kids. That's not the right way to balance our budget.
See, right there, you were doing good up until the last line. If you want to reform entitlements, all of a sudden you don't like the poor, you don't like the elderly, you don't like people with special needs, then all of a sudden you can't talk anymore. If these are entitlement programs, they just need to be reformed in a way that's going to be sustainable. You don't have to vilify people that come up with plans. Come up with your own plan. And for him to come out and say, I am not going to balance the budget just to balance the budget, did he get anything out of the Clinton dinner from last week?
You know what's interesting is how many times during the campaign did we hear from the Democrats, we've got to have a balanced approach, got to have things balanced, where everything's balanced, except when it comes to the budget, which the Republicans say they will balance the budget within 10 years, but the Democrats, are just flat out, no, we're not going to do it. And I don't get the disconnect.
Well, this is a huge disconnect. In fact, it is possibly a deal breaker. The fact that the Republicans say the one thing, their overarching goal, which is to do away with the debt and the deficit and to balance it somehow. And the president says, that's really not at the top of my list. And he's more interested. He thinks that the Paul Ryan budget really hurts education and research. And he thinks that if the government doesn't invest in education and research, that then we will not be internationally competitive. The Republicans have a completely different view. And so, it's great that they're talking. I think that it's wonderful that they're talking, but they are at opposite ends philosophically about this.